Hello everybody, my name is Brooklyn, otherwise known as TheDramaticOtaku, and welcome to today's episode of the Weeb wrap-up, this being my bi-monthly manga and anime review series, where I recap everything that I have read within the last 2 months. And I say read because the last couple of Weeb wrap-ups have only been reading. I will say, spoilers, there is anime in this Weeb wrap-up, and this goes over July and August of 2024. Now, as always, before we get into it, there will be spoilers for every single series that I talk about. You have been warned. Now let's just get into July manga. So, we begin with a Ayazawa classic, this being Neighborhood Story Volume 1. Another Ayazawa story. Neighborhood Story is a coming-of-age story, the amount of times I put story in this first sentence, of Mikako and Tsutomu, two teenagers who are first years at an art school, a very Ayazawa school, with Mikako being a fashion student and Tsutomu an art kid. These two are childhood friends, and Tsutomu has a massive crush on Mikako, but Mikako doesn't know and doesn't even know how it feels to love someone. And across this volume, we have Tsutomu getting a girlfriend, dumping his girlfriend, and pining after Mikako. It's really confusing to actually explain the events of this volume because the chapters are so long and a lot unfolds. This is also a mini omnibus, as it seems like there will only be 4 volumes of this reprinting of Neighborhood Story compared to the original 7. Generally, this is a slice of life comedy with plenty of fashion, romance, and some mid to late 90s humor. And an appearance from Ayazawa herself, as the school they attend is called the Yazawa Academy. It's very engaging as a story, and the denseness of Mikako is not as frustrating as you would think, especially when she's exposed to the fact that Tsutomu is in love with her at the end of the volume. But I am nervous as there is a minimum 20 chapters more. I gave this volume a 9 out of 10. Next on the list, we have Sakurasaku Volume 2. I know they're gonna do a bait and switch with Kotono not actually being in love with Hiroki, but bro, why are you hinting at Kotono liking Hiroki? Saku just realized her feelings for Hiroki. I am definitely getting sucked in with this series. The romance is romancing far better than Volume 1. My favorite panel has to be when Saku has Hiroki's jacket on. It's so cute, and just imagining Hiroki holding her from behind is so fucking cute. So fucking cute. I can't believe how cute it is. I love it. I'm still iffy on the entire series as a whole, as I won't be actively collecting this one in favor of Neighborhood Story, Whisper Me a Love Song, and One Dance, but this is still cute. Speaking of Neighborhood Story Volume 2. Angst. And not romance angst between our protagonists for once. Now, I have a couple of points that I'm really not going to explain as to not spoil anything, but these are in my head, so I need to get them out. 1, really not hot on the divorced parents getting back together trope, but I get the context, still not a huge fan, but the dad side plot is hitting me personally in the feels. 2, Mirako and Yusuke fighting is really annoying in the story. I just want them to confront their feelings and communicate. 3, Tsutomu and Mikako being cute in a relationship in this volume is absolutely everything I fucking adore. I will also say Ayazawa is really good at drawing teens as being in between adults and kids, and I really like it because they have the attitude of I can do anything, I'm getting older, but also I like being cutesy and I can still be really kiddish because I'm technically still a child, and I find it refreshing and a little bit confusing sometimes. In other series, if they're 15 to 18, they're wildly serious, but I love the mix of goofy and serious, inferences of sex while also talking about other classes and stuff too. Some being innocent idiots while some being more knowledgeable about the world. While not as great as Volume 1, the family stuff did ruin it a bit. It was definitely one of my favorites to read, so I gave it a 7.5 out of 10. Next 2 volumes, I went to Minotaur with Leisha, Mia, and Emma, and I ended up buying 2 books, one being so pretty that I had to pick it up, this being In the Name of the Mermaid Princess. For a spur of the moment pickup, this was so cute. In the world of In the Name of the Mermaid Princess, there are humans and unhumans. Humans are born with special powers, which some people are led to think that they are monsters, where others think they are treasures to be taken care of. Our protagonist Mio is the princess of a human-only kingdom, however, she is an unhuman mermaid. One who her father is trying to attempt to turn fully human so she can be married off to a prince of a neighbouring kingdom, Prince Chica. To learn about the customs of this new kingdom, an advisor of the kingdom has come to teach Mio the culture and history of the kingdom. He is the first person to not treat Mio like a monster and stirs her heart more than one way. This volume ending with them making a great escape to said neighbouring country. And I really liked this, surprisingly. I picked this up because I thought the cover was pretty and the book was relatively cheap compared to other Minotaur books, but this was really adorable. Now, in concept, it's nothing too special, with the exception of the named and prominent characters being fervently against the main character and not having a change of heart. Importantly, Mio's father. But this generally has the same vibe as The Witch and the Beast and Scarlet, however being the shoujo genre instead of ecchi or shonen. This is very much the princess is a damsel but then is uplifted by the very evident love interest. But the main character has like a love interest already, and Anna and Kristoff, they're fucking Anna and Kristoff. Generally, I like this a lot. Whether I continue the story is debatable, but I wouldn't really mind doing so. I gave this a 7.5 out of 10. Next is a story that I've been seeing for a long time, this being Yagi the Bookshop Goat. I saw this one day in All Star Comics, left it, saw it in Minotaur Comics, left it. This is the BL. It has 18 plus scenes towards the end of it. It really didn't feel needed because I did think this was a very cute story. So I gave it a 6 out of 10 because I did think it was cute. It's very basic for a BL. I just really didn't think it needed the 18 plus scenes in it. So yeah, that one's fine. That is all of my July manga. July anime. Surprise, bitches, we have anime. We only have one, and that is Whisper Me a Love Song, the anime. I am so fucking disappointed with this anime. As of writing this, and as of me recording this, 10 of 12 episodes have been released, and I'm going to take this as the whole series. It is just about up to volume 7 in content, despite there being another 2 episodes scheduled, and they have been delayed without a current end date or release date for them. Now, before the bads, I'm going to give you guys what I love about the anime. Number 1, the voice acting is spot on, especially for Yori, Aki, and Shiho. Yori's singing voice especially, I would absolutely fall in love with her on the spot too. Beautiful. 2, I had no idea Miki's color scheme was green. I thought it was a purpley blue like Shiho. I'm apparently stupid. 3, I had no clue that Yori was a November queen. I am a fake fan. She's not a Scorpio, sadly, but she is still a November queen. How did I not know this bitch was born in November? How did I not know that? No wonder she is a beautiful bitch. 4, the Baker girl's name is Momoka. I'm so glad I was reminded because I would have just kept calling her Baker Girl. 5, I thought the way Yori fawned over Himari was cute and loved the bit where she's imagining Himari in different clubs. 6, Lorelai's performance does not disappoint. I think the tone shift is fantastic. Do I think it hits the high standard set by the manga Lorelai? No, but I knew going into it that wouldn't necessarily be the case. But for what we got, I approved greatly, and the songs immediately went into my Spotify playlist. I've been listening to the song that Lorelai played so much. It is actually a really good song. Do I think it's a little bit corny? Yes, but I've been listening it more than I've been listening to the one by the SS Girls. My gushing out of the way, we can now move on to my immense disappointment with the series. To start off with, being someone who is not a fan of slice of life anime, who has also read the manga prior, I went in knowing that I would be bored. I know what happens, of course I would be. However, I was not ready for how plain and boring the series would be. As I said, this is supposed to be a 12 episode anime going through about 7+ volumes worth of content, to which to the credit of the series, with how minuscule each drama is in the grand scheme of things, then yeah, I get it. However, this is a romance anime, and as soon as they introduced Lorelai, they removed the romance. I'm more than well aware of the plot shift when Lorelai is introduced in the manga. It is something that I really think grips you back into the series, and I absolutely loved the direction the manga took with that. But in translating that to the anime, they took out 1, Yori being jealous of Lorelai having Himari, 2, the summer festival, and 3, the romantic dynamics of other characters, namely members of Lorelai. Now, with this being in the latter half of the series, I'm sure there's more that I missed, but these are the most egregious examples. The series after Lorelai's introductions focus practically solely on Shiho, which while we get a whole lot of exposition on Shiho in the manga does not become about Shiho alone. As we have the Yori being jealous thing as another plotline and have her have to overcome this, which leads to the kiss at the summer festival. The timeline itself, story-wise, for the anime is really janky and feels like it happens in quite a short amount of time as to the elongated amount of time that is provided in the manga. Next is production side. While I think the flow of events in the series is nicer in the anime for the most part, as the manga can stop and start at certain points quite a bit, the animation, lack of dynamic character movement, and many scenes feeling like slideshows, not to mention band practices where they practically are slideshows, as well as the characters' faces changing shapes to a point where it is noticeable, I was incredibly disappointed. I felt like it was just talking constantly. There wasn't moments to actually feel the character's emotions. If Himari needed to express something, she's talking to Miki, and I feel like Miki is more present in the anime than manga for this exact reason. And all of this on top of the plotline just fails the show, which is disappointing because it doesn't do justice to the manga. I think Episode 10 executes volumes 6 to 7 really well, and I love that. I just wish that passion had been given to the rest of the series. However, the end of that episode is where I have story issue, as that is where the summer festival happens, and since they cut it out, I feel like I'm smash cutting between scenes. Other notes of mine included subtitling being strange, but that will be more of a high dive thing than the actual anime, and I feel like the marketing team really pushed Yori's cat loving side a bit, because at the start it just feels like a bit much. Like, I knew she liked cats and she thought they were cute, but anime Yori feels like a Sanrio girl with how much she fucking loves cats. At the time of this review actually being written, I'm very tired, so I can't fully articulate my feelings on the show, same with me recording at the moment. But overall, I'm really disappointed in what we got, especially the cutting of the summer festival. That absolutely drives me nuts, because it is a romance anime and you took out the key romantic element of the entire series. It feels like they gutted the manga and left the main plot points, but forgot that the guts of the manga was the romance. And then to rub salt in the wounds, they market it like a Yuri anime that's got music in it, and it just ends up being a light music club band anime that just so happens to have lesbians in it. 5 out of 10. There were parts that I definitely enjoyed. And I can't in good faith to one of my favorite mangas give it anything lower than a 5. This was severely disappointing. And I feel like I dissociated through most of the episodes. And that was all of my manga in July. I can't believe we actually had anime in July, because we didn't get any in August. So we will just be moving straight forward into August manga. We will start with Sakura Saku Volume 3. This is fucking hell, Hello Kitty, don't jump from there, bruh. We're starting with Sakura Saku Volume 3. Pretty much this is short and sweet. I don't really have a lot of thoughts of this. Again, I find it a very cute series. Still, I think I'm just moving away from shoujo romance in a high school setting, just because, you know, I am nearly 23. So, Sakura Saku, I really hate the two friends in love with the same guy trope. So much misinformation as well in this, but also the fucking drama of it all. Kinda love it, kinda hate it. Gagged, love it, 7 out of 10. That short and sweet Sakura Saku. Next, we move forward to a early 2000s classic, this being Skip Beat. And with this being an early 2000s classic, this is a 3-in-1 volume, so it's volumes 1 through 3. And I didn't realize when I picked this up that I was starting Shoujo One Piece. Skip Beat follows Kyoko Mogami, a 16-year-old girl living and working in Tokyo, to upkeep the rent for her apartment that she shares with her childhood friend and super rock star Shotaro Fua, otherwise known as Sho, because she believed that he loved her, as he asked her to move to Tokyo with him, and as it turns out, it wasn't for love, it's because he's a man baby who doesn't know how to do shit and is using her as a maid. I don't like Sho. Furious, rightfully so, Mogami leaves Sho and swears she'll get more famous than him as a form of revenge against his massive ego. And so the story of Skip Beat begins, with this series clocking in at currently 50 volumes and ongoing. I have truly opened Shoujo One Piece. For an early 2000s rom-com, I am actually enjoying this quite a bit, though the thought of the sheer amount of chapters leaves me whining a bit, as I can't find Skip Beat on the Viz app, meaning that I can't binge it unless I read scans or purchase the manga itself. And with how thick these are and how little space I have up here, that's not happening anytime soon. To be honest, I think I'll focus on my Nana collection first, as that is something I'll be focusing on in September through October. But for the story, it is a very stock standard rom-com. However, for this being a rom-com, I can only see one of two options happening for endgame with Kyoko, that being either Sho, which I would hate, or Ren, who is a character I haven't brought up, but he is Sho's main rival in terms of career. So they could also be love rivals, and Ren could be in love with Kyoko. However, Ren, who, while having an unknown age, is older than 16, as he's mentioned as being a rowdy 16-year-old in past tense in the early chapters of Volume 2. My best inference for Ren is that he's in his early 20s, which I don't particularly want to see with a 16-year-old girl who does not have a high school education because Sho dragged her to Tokyo with him. But only time can tell how I will feel about Skip Beat. This got a 7.5 out of 10. I am just a sucker for early 2000s rom-com. Moving forward. Okay, so this month I finally got all of my Manga Mate packages. Thus, the next two entries will be stuff from Manga Mate. And when I ordered from Manga Mate, I got a mystery manga with my order. That mystery manga, I explicitly made the note, no shonen, please romance, please gay, and they gave me a gay romance. The two of them are pretty much like this. This is a lesbian romance, and they are adults. Yes. Thank you, manga mate. 5 stars. I was so pleased when this rocked up in my manga mate package as a mystery item. Worth the 9-month wait that I had. Long story short, I ended up having to swap out one of my manga because it's on back order, like, permanently. Worth the 9-month wait, as this is essentially my child. At the moment, this is a small vignette-styled slice of life story between our protagonist, 22-year-old Waco, who is the brunette girl in this, nicknamed Wanko, which I can only assume sounds like Wanko. And 13-year-old Sakuma, who is the blonde woman in this book. 2 women in love, and they're adults. Yes. At the moment, there is not a whole lot of story, and this is very reminiscent of a lighter, more slice of lifey watakoi at the moment as well. With this being the first volume, it's a nice, light, digestible read. 6 out of 10. Also, to see the word druggy in a manga is bizarre. These two are adults. Wanko is a voice actress and Sakuma is a screenwriter. They are in love. They've got like a 10-year age gap, which did weird me out a little bit, but they're adults. They can do their adult thing. And as I said, this is very vignette style. Each chapter starts with the two of them are and then ends with pretty much like this. Sort of just going through their day-to-day life in vignette style chunks. So yeah, as I said, 6 out of 10, very digestible, very light and fluffy. Moving forward from light and fluffy gay, we go into hardcore spicy straight. Not hardcore. Mafia romance spicy straight. So Yakuza Lover 6, 7, 8. This one is again going to be short and sweet. As spicy as I remember. Nothing really much to add. Yakuza Lover is the epitome of mafia smut stories. So I got on this train. I'm gonna guess I have to sit until the end of the line. I gave this a 7 out of 10 collectively. This is something where you kind of just have to binge it. It's a very yes and sort of story, and as I said, there's a lot of smut in this. Take that as you will. Moving forward, this one I actually read on the Viz Media website, this being Like a Butterfly volume 5 and 6. Seeing as I did read it on the Viz Media website, I can't actually distinguish what is volume 5 and what is volume 6. So pretty much from where we left off in volume 4, the guy we see at the end of volume 4 is a rival in karate and also Kawasumi senpai, as well as Kawasumi's older brother's friend. Kawasumi has an older brother as well. New information. We learn a lot about Kawasumi in these volumes, but good news, Kawasumi and Suirin start dating in volume 5, and we get to go through the early stages of first love and how much Suirin loves it. However, Atahira, which is the guy who we saw at the cultural I can't remember if it's the school festival, the cultural festival, or the spring festival. I can't remember. It's one of those school festivals, you know? I'm just calling it the cultural festival. Atahira, the guy from the cultural festival, has some fucking problems. It feels like him and Kawasumi, we are seeing like the start of a sports anime to do with karate, but Kawasumi has a girlfriend, so it's getting in the way of his focus. And in the terms of like a sports anime, we'd be like on Atahira's side, but we're on Suirin's because this is a shoujo romance. So I'm not a fan of Atahira, and Atahira would not be a fan of me personally because he has some vendetta against women. I don't know what his problem is. Anyway, there's also some weird tension between Atahira and Kawasumi that I'm not really the biggest fan of. Generally, Atahira pisses me off. I gave Volume 5 and 6, a collective 6.5 out of 10. Yes, I ranked it under Yakuza Lover. Now, the last one. As you can see, I have completed my Rosa Versailles collection. I am very happy about that. Also, I have finally completed Kaguya-sama Lover's War. I now have all of the volumes. I mentioned earlier that one of my books from Manga Mate was on back order. And I think I mentioned in July that Booktopia went under. Now, technically, it's been saved. However, 2 books that I was waiting on from Booktopia was Yakuza Lover Volume 6 and Volume 28 of Kaguya-sama Lover's War. I'm not going to trust Booktopia again if they fuck me over. Because I've already done that. I can't get a refund from them. Because of the circumstances of my order that I placed before they went under, meaning I've lost money to them. So Manga Mate, I very much appreciate for letting me swap out one book that was on back order, which was Millennium Snow Volumes 3 and 4 Omnibus, for Yakuza Lover Volume 6 and Kaguya-sama's Lover's War Volume 28, which is why I'm so happy, because I also got Nana Volume 2 in that package, and I got... They're both just like this. Long story short, I really don't trust Booktopia at the moment. But where the fuck did I get the rest of the Rosa Versailles volumes? Oh, Booktopia. Now, Volume 1, I actually managed to get from a QBD, which was a surprise, but no QBDs have Volume 2. Volume 2. And I had bought all the other volumes from Booktopia, which I'm not doing again. So I had to buy Volume 2 from Amazon. And since I was there, I was like, fuck it. There's one other series that I have been reading for a while. I only have the first 2 volumes for, and the only way I can get the rest of the volumes is off of Amazon. So I'll just buy the 3rd volume of that series. And that is Again. Now, it has been a long time since I have read the series. Luckily I did vaguely remember what was going on. It's been a while since we've been here. Also, I did not remember just how out of pocket this series is. The amount of nudity and potential misogyny in this is wild. Revisiting again, this is the story of Imamura. On the last day of his 3rd year, he falls down the stairs with a girl whose name I do not remember, waking up back at his first day of high school, having to live those 3 years again. This time, his mission is to keep the... Now, the last time I said this word, I think I said oidan. There is an N in the middle of that word. I think it's uendan, or I don't know how it's pronounced. It is spelt Ouendan. Alive. Which he is very hesitant to do. This volume was wild. He makes a decent friend out of someone in his class, but not really, and continues to butt heads with Usami, which is super frustrating. But spanner in the works, Usami, as a way to punish Imamura, makes Imamura the captain of the word I cannot pronounce. Which is where this volume leads off, and it is a little bit of an awkward read, but it is investing. I will give this a 6 out of 10. This is a series that I will be continuing because I, again, have stuck my foot through the door. That means it is becoming one of my collections. And again, whole reason I started reading this is because it is from one of the minds behind Yuri on Ice, or like one of the production team members. So I will be continuing again. It has just been a while since I read again, and I just didn't remember how weird this series is. There was a couple good laughs, but this is a very strange story. So that would be all of my August manga and the rest of my Weeb wrap-up for August and July of 2024. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. What manga suggestions do you have? What anime suggestions do you have? I have a little spoilers for what anime I will be watching, hopefully in September and October. That being said, I will see you guys next week. Actually, I will see you guys on Friday for the next episode of the whole SMP, as I am starting to hopefully upload them on Fridays. Not every Friday, but I will try to upload them Fridays instead of in my regular Wednesday spot. So, see you guys Friday, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe if you did. Again, if you have any manga or anime suggestions, please let me know in the comments down below. And I will see you guys next time. Bye!